Hello. There are moments in life when someone finally shows you exactly who they are. No masks, no polite filters, just their true feelings dropped right in your lap. That happened to me on a Thursday night in March, and it changed the entire direction of my life. I have been working as a heating and air conditioning technician for about 12 years. I make around $23 an hour, nothing fancy, but enough to keep us stable. We rent a small two-bedroom home in a quiet neighborhood. Our cars are paid off, and we do not live beyond our means. At least, that is what I thought. My wife, Hannah, was preparing for her annual girls' trip to Nashville. Same friends every year, same routine. They spent 4 days shopping, drinking wine, and apparently using their husbands as gossip material. I was at the kitchen table going through the bills like I always did: rent, utilities, the credit card statement. The card balance was higher than usual, mostly charges from her last few weeks of spending. "Hey," I said, not angry, just confused. "This $350 charge at Nordstrom. What was that?" She barely looked up from packing. "Those heels I bought for Sydney's wedding. You know, the black ones. $350 for shoes." I said, "That is more than our electric bill." She let out a dramatic sigh. "Here we go again. You act like we are broke." "We are not broke," I said, "but we are not millionaires either. I would just like to talk about bigger purchases before we make them." That was when she stopped folding clothes. She turned toward me with a look that told me she had been waiting a long time to let this out. And then she said the sentence that ended our marriage. "My friends think you are a joke. They all say I'm married beneath me. And honestly, they are right." The silence in that kitchen felt thick enough to choke on. I just stared at her, letting the words settle inside me. It was not that she disagreed with my opinion on spending. It was not even that she thought I was being too cautious. No, what hit me was that her friends, women I had been polite to, cooked for, and invited into our home, thought I was beneath her. And worse, she agreed. "Your friends think I am a joke," I repeated. "Yeah," she said, shrugging. "Jeremy makes double what you make. Penny's husband just got promoted to regional manager. And here I am married to an heating and air conditioning guy who questions every dollar I spend." She said heating and air conditioning guy like it was some kind of insult, like working with my hands, learning a trade, and keeping people's homes running was something to be ashamed of. I closed the credit card statement and looked straight at her. She stood there with her hands on her hips like she had just delivered some inspirational truth I should thank her for. "So that is how you see me," I said. "That is what you think of the man you married." "I am just being honest," she snapped. "You could do more with your life if you wanted to. But you are comfortable being this." She gestured at me like I was a piece of outdated furniture she no longer wanted. I gathered the bills, slid them back into their folder, and put everything away. My voice stayed calm. My hands stayed steady. But inside, something shifted in a way I could not undo. "Well," I said quietly, "I appreciate the honesty." "Good," she said. "Maybe now you will understand why I need this trip. I need time with people who actually have ambition." She went back to packing like she had not just told me she was embarrassed to be married to me. Like she had not just admitted she thought her friends were right for looking down on me. Like she had not just told me, in plain English, that I was not good enough for her. I sat on the edge of our bed watching her fold designer outfits she bought with money I earned. She was humming, actually humming, like she felt lighter after finally saying what had always been sitting in her mind. That was when it hit me. This was not about shoes or spending habits. This was about respect. And once respect dies, there is no funeral that brings it back. She thought I was a joke. She thought working with my hands made me less of a man. She thought her friends, people with fancy job titles, were on some pedestal above me. But what she did not realize was this. The joke was not on me. It was about to be on her. I grabbed my phone and texted my brother, "Theodore, can I stay at your place for a bit? Starting this weekend. I will explain later." His reply came back in under a minute. "Of course. Are you all right?" "I will be," I typed back. Meanwhile, she was still humming, still packing, still getting ready to impress her judgmental friends. She had no clue she had just spoken the last disrespectful sentence she would ever say to me. She was excited for her trip, 4 days of laughing, drinking, and complaining about her husband. But she was about to have a lot more to talk about than she could have imagined. Friday morning came fast. She was up early, double-checking her bags, making sure she had everything she needed for her big getaway. Friday morning came faster than I expected. I got up before the sun like I always did, made coffee, scrambled some eggs, and acted like nothing in the world was wrong. You sure you do not mind me going? Hannah asked while fixing her makeup in the hallway mirror. Of course not, I said. You deserve time with your friends. And I meant it. She truly did deserve to spend time with people who thought the same way she did. What she did not know was that I had been awake until 2 in the morning lining up phone calls and setting plans in motion. It is incredible how efficient you become when someone finally hands you the motivation you did not know you needed. My first call was to my supervisor, Mr. Rodriguez. I asked if we could speak before my shift started, told him it was personal. He has always been good to me, one of those bosses who actually listens. I did not give him the full story, but I told him I was separating from my wife and needed a fresh start. We have an opening at the Brewer County branch, he said. Same pay, same hours. It is about 40 minutes from where your brother lives. Interested? Very, I said. Then consider it handled. You can start Monday. The second call was to my brother Theodore. He never pries, but he always shows up when it matters. I told him everything, word for word, what Hannah had said to me in the kitchen. She said that, he growled. I could hear the anger in his voice. It does not matter anymore, I said. I just need help moving my stuff Saturday morning. Think you can find a few guys? Already handled, he said. I will be there. Landon from my construction crew will come. Curtis too. Curtis? From Penny's friend group? No, different Penny, he said. You know who I mean. Perfect. I will have everything packed. The third call was the hardest. Our landlord, Mrs. Dixon. I explained that I was moving out, but Hannah would be staying until the lease ended in 3 months. She could pay the full rent, find a roommate, or break the lease and pay the penalty. It was not my problem anymore. Are you sure? Mrs. Dixon asked softly. You two seemed happy. Things change, I said. I will be out by Saturday evening. Rent is paid through the end of the month. While I made those calls, Hannah was texting her friends, probably telling them how thrilled she was to escape her dull, blue-collar husband for a few days. She had no idea what was coming. I spent the rest of the morning sorting our belongings. What was mine? What was hers? What did we buy together? The living room television? I bought that with overtime money. The coffee maker? A wedding gift from my side of the family. The dining table? Hers. The couch? Hers too. The good kitchen knives? Mine. I cooked. She did not. The joint bank account was the only tricky part. I could not empty it. That would cause trouble later. But taking half was fair. So I transferred exactly half, $5,300, into the personal account I opened Thursday night. What time is your flight again? I asked. 10:45, she answered. I need to leave around 8:30. I will drive you. Really? You sure? You do not have to work today, she said. Why? I called in sick, I said. Figured I would spend the day missing you. She smiled like she believed it. Like I was just the same sweet, quiet husband who let everything slide. That was the funny part. She genuinely thought she still understood me. We loaded her suitcases into my truck. 2 massive bags for a 4-day trip. She always overpacked, but this time it worked in my favor. The more she took, the less I had to deal with later. At the airport, she kissed me goodbye like everything between us was normal. I will call you when I land, she said. Have fun with your friends, I told her. I hope all of you have plenty to talk about. She did not notice the tone. She was already thinking about mimosas, hotel rooms, and how relieved she was to be away from the man she thought she had outgrown. I watched her disappear into the terminal with her designer luggage, heading off to spend 4 days with people who thought I was some kind of charity case. Within hours, she would be laughing about our argument, telling them how ridiculous I was for questioning her $300 shoes. But what none of them knew, the part they could never see coming, was that the real punchline had not landed yet. I drove home and called Theodore. She is gone, I said. We are good for tomorrow morning. How are you feeling? He asked. Honestly, I said. Free. Clearer than I have felt in years. That bad, huh? Let me put it this way, I said. I was thinking about asking her if she wanted to start trying for kids. Can you imagine raising children in a house where their mother thinks their father is a joke? Theodore was silent for a long moment. Then he said, We will have you out of there by tomorrow night. I spent the rest of Friday packing my clothes, tools, books, anything that was mine. I left her belongings untouched, but the empty spaces where my things had been would tell the story she refused to hear. Around dinner time, she called from Nashville, full of excitement about the hotel, the restaurant, the successful people she was surrounded by. It sounds great, I said. Enjoy every minute. I will. Love you, she said. Take care, I replied. I did not say, "I love you" back. I was done lying, to her and to myself. She did not pick up on it, but I did. That simple sentence I gave her the night before was the first honest thing I had said to her in years. By the time Saturday morning rolled around, I was more than ready. At exactly 7 o'clock, my brother Josh pulled into the driveway in his old pickup truck. Right behind him came Mark and Tyler, riding in Mark's work truck. These guys do not waste time. They stepped out ready to haul whatever needed hauling. "All right, man. What is the plan?" Josh asked, looking over the house like he was sizing up a job site. "Everything in these boxes goes," I said. "The television, the microwave I bought last year, all my tools." I made a list of what belongs to me and what belongs to her. Mark let out a low whistle. "Man, this is rough. You sure there is no fixing things?" "She told me her friends think I am a joke, and she agrees with them." "Would you stick around after that?" "Absolutely not," Tyler muttered. "Load the trucks." We got to work, and honestly, it was almost embarrassing how fast it all went. 12 years of marriage, and my actual belongings fit into 2 pickup trucks. That tells you something. Most of the furniture was hers anyway. She always cared about decorating. I just paid for what she wanted. The television was the biggest thing I owned. The 55-inch Samsung I bought for myself with overtime money last year. She barely watched it, always glued to her phone, but she would definitely notice it missing. "Think this will fit in Josh's truck?" Mark asked. "If not, I will make it fit," Josh said, hoisting one end. Then came the tools, 2 full toolboxes, my work belt, and all the specialized equipment I had collected over the years. Those tools are my trade, the thing that puts food on the table. Funny how she was ashamed of the very thing that paid for her lifestyle. "These are pricey," Tyler said, picking up one of the toolboxes. "Good gear costs money," I told him, "but it lasts forever if you treat it right, unlike some things." We worked for 3 solid hours. Clothes, books, the kitchen gear I brought into the marriage, my computer setup, even my bag of fresh roasted coffee beans from that little shop downtown. If I had bought it or owned it before we married, it went into a box. As the house emptied, it looked strange. Not damaged, not trashed, just hollow, like someone gently peeled away half a life and left the other half standing. "You leaving her a note?" Josh asked as we loaded the last box. "Already done." I pulled the folded sheet of notebook paper from my pocket. Nothing poetic, nothing dramatic, just the truth. "Hope they think this punchline is funny too." "That is it?" Mark asked. "That is it. She will get the message." I set the note on the kitchen table, the same spot where she always tossed her keys when she walked in. Right next to the place where I used to stack our bills back when I bothered managing money for both of us. The final thing I grabbed was the coffee maker. My good one. Not the cheap machine she had when we got married. I upgraded us because I like doing things the right way. She could figure coffee out on her own now. We walked through the house one last time. Her furniture stayed. The couch, the dining table, the bedroom set, all the decor she cared about. The place was livable, but the gaps were obvious. The entertainment center looked ridiculous with no television sitting on it. The counter looked bare without my coffee maker. "You think she is going to be mad?" Tyler asked. "She will be shocked," I said. "There is a difference." Josh locked the door with the spare key I had left for him to return to Mrs. Dixon later. My own key was going back too. I would not be needing it. We drove everything to Josh's place, unloaded the boxes into his garage, and the spare bedroom he cleared out for me. He did not make me feel like I was intruding. That is just how family is. "You hungry?" he asked once we were done. "Yeah," I said. "Lunch is on me. You guys earned it." We went to Josh's favorite barbecue joint. Nothing fancy, but the food was real and the beer was cold. We sat outside under the afternoon sun, talking and eating like we had actually built something important, and honestly, we had. "So what now?" Curtis asked between bites of brisket. "I start my new job on Monday. I will find my own place soon. Then I move on." "That simple?" he asked. "Should be. I have skills, I have savings, and I have family. What more do I need?" "What about her?" Tyler asked. "What about her?" I shrugged. She made it clear how she sees me. I am just finally agreeing with her. My phone buzzed. A message from her. "Having an amazing time. Friends say hi." I showed the guys. "You going to answer?" Josh asked. What would I say? I laughed. "Glad you are enjoying talking about how disappointing I am." I shut the phone off. She could enjoy her weekend without any updates from the joke she married. The weirdest part was how good I felt. Not angry. Not sad. Just clear. Like somebody had taken a weight off my back that I had been carrying so long I forgot it was even there. Josh looked at me for a moment. You seem different, he said. More like yourself. I feel like myself, I answered. First time in a long time. We finished our lunch and headed back to Josh's place, the sun warm on my shoulders and the road ahead wide open. I could tell she did not recognize anything was different in the way I spoke to her before she left, but I sure did. It felt like the very first honest thing that had come out of my mouth in years. Saturday could not arrive fast enough. At 7 o'clock sharp, my brother Josh rolled up in his pickup truck. Right behind him, Mark and Tyler arrived in Mark's work truck. These guys do not show up halfway. They came ready to work like they were clocking in for a job. All right, man, what are we looking at? Josh asked, surveying the house with the same eye he uses on construction sites. Simple, I said. Everything in these boxes is mine. The television, the microwave I bought last year, all my tools. I already made a list of what stays and what goes. Mark let out a low whistle. Man, this is rough. You sure there is no fixing this? She told me her friends think I am a joke, and she agreed with them. Would you stick around after hearing that? Absolutely not, Tyler said. All right, fellas, load up. We moved quick. Honestly, it was surprising how little of the house was actually mine after 12 years of marriage. 2 pickup trucks, and that covered all my belongings. Made me think about how much I had put into that home compared to what I actually took out of it. Most of the furniture was hers. She always wanted control of the style and the decor. I just paid the bills. The television was the biggest thing I owned, a 55-inch Samsung I bought for myself with overtime money. She never cared about it, but she would definitely notice it missing. This thing going to fit in Josh's truck? Curtis asked. If it doesn't fit, I will make it fit, Josh replied. Next were my tools, 2 full boxes, my work belt, and all the specialized equipment I had built up over the years. That stuff is the heart of my job. It was funny, in a way, how she acted embarrassed about the very trade that paid for her luxuries. These are expensive, Tyler said as he lifted one of the toolboxes. Quality tools cost money, I said, but they last a lifetime if you take care of them. Unlike some things. We worked for hours. My clothes, my books, the kitchen supplies I brought into the marriage, my computer equipment, even my bag of fresh roasted coffee beans from that little shop downtown. If I owned it or bought it before we got married, it went in a truck. The house slowly began to look strange. Not wrecked, just empty in a very intentional way. Like someone had neatly pulled out half a person's life and left the other half sitting untouched. You leaving her anything? Josh asked as we loaded the last of my boxes. I wrote her a note already. I pulled it out, a sheet of plain notebook paper with my regular handwriting. No dramatic goodbye, no cheap shots. Just honest words. Hope her friends find this punchline as funny as she did. I said. That is it. Mark asked. That is it. She will understand. I placed the note on the kitchen table, the same place she always tossed her keys when she came home, right beside the spot where I used to put the monthly bills back when I still cared about our shared finances. The final thing I grabbed was my coffee maker. Not the cheap one she brought into the marriage. The nice machine I bought because I like good coffee and believe in buying things that last. She could figure out how to brew her mornings with whatever was left. We walked through the place one last time. Her furniture still sat there. The couch, the dining table, the bedroom set, all fine. The house was still livable, but half of it was missing. The entertainment center looked almost ridiculous without the television. The kitchen counter had a big empty space where my coffee maker used to sit. You think she will be mad? Tyler asked. No, I said. She will be shocked. That is a different kind of hit. Josh locked up using the spare key, which he would drop off with Mrs. Dixon, our landlord. I tossed my own copy on the counter. I did not need it anymore. The 3 of us drove everything to Josh's house and unloaded it. He had cleared a space for me, the garage, the spare room, whatever I needed. Family does not make you feel like you are taking up space. They open space for you. You want lunch? He asked. Yeah, and this one is on me. You guys earned it. We hit up Josh's favorite barbecue place. Nothing fancy, just good food, cold beer, and sunshine. It felt like we had just completed a major job, and in a way, we had. So what is next? Mark asked between bites of brisket. I start my new job on Monday. I will look for my own place soon. Then I move forward. That simple, he asked. It should be. I have my skills, I have my savings, and I have family. What more does a man really need? What about her? Tyler asked. What about her? I replied. She laid out exactly how she sees me. I am finally agreeing with her. Then my phone buzzed. A text from her. Having an amazing time. Friends say hello. I showed the guys. You replying? Josh asked. To say what? I laughed. Glad you are enjoying your weekend with people who think I am beneath them? I shut the phone off. She could enjoy her trip without any updates from the joke she married. The strange part was how good I felt. Not angry. Not bitter. Just free. Like I had been carrying weight for years and only now realized how heavy it had been. Josh looked at me. You seem different, he said. More like the old you. I feel like me again, I said. First time in a long time. We finished our food and drove back to his place under a clear sky. The way she looked at me that night, like she was proud to tell me her friends thought I was beneath her, stayed with me. Hearing that kind of disrespect from the person you built a life with? Yeah, any sympathy I had for her vanished fast. Tuesday morning, I walked into my new job at the Brewer County branch. Same work I had been doing for more than a decade, but now surrounded by people who did not know a thing about my marriage or the mess I walked out of. Felt good to do something real with my hands again. Something that made sense. During lunch, I checked my phone. 3 more voicemails, all from late Monday night. Voicemail 1, 11:15 p.m. I have been thinking about what I said last Thursday. I was wrong. I was stressed about money and took it out on you. Please come home so we can work on this. Voicemail 2, 11:45 p.m. I talked to Judith about everything. She said marriages go through bad moments. We just need to communicate better. Voicemail 3, 12:30 a.m. I cannot sleep. The whole house feels wrong without your things here. I do not understand why you will not talk to me. We are adults. We can get through this. There it was again. Adults. Like grown people get to insult their partner and walk away from it with no fallout. Like being adult means ignoring disrespect. I deleted the voicemails. Wednesday, she switched methods. She started calling people we knew, our mutual friends, old coworkers, trying to build a support team around her. Hey man, your wife called me, said Brandon, a guy I used to work with. She is pretty upset. Says you vanished after a fight. Something like that. She wants to know if I have heard from you. She sounds worried. I am fine. Just needed space. You should call her, man. She sounded really desperate. I will think about it, I told him. But I would not. This was never about one fight. This was about respect, something she lost for me long before she finally said those words out loud. And once someone shows you how they truly view you, you do not forget it. Thursday evening, exactly 1 week after she tore me down, she tried again. This time, in a long text. I know you are reading this. I have been thinking a lot. I realize what I said was hurtful, and I am sorry. I was upset about money. Your job is important, and I respect what you do. Please come home so we can talk face to face. I love you and I want to fix this. I showed the text to Josh. You think she means it? He asked. I think she is scared, I said. Scared of being alone. Scared about paying the full rent. Scared of looking bad to her friends. But change what she truly thinks of me. No, people do not throw out opinions like that unless they actually believe them. Friday afternoon, 1 week to the day since her girl's trip flight, I made up my mind. I was ready to talk to her, but not in the way she hoped. Friday morning, for the first time all week, I answered her call. Oh my God, finally. Where have you been? I have been losing my mind. I have been working, I said. Started a new position. A new position? What do you mean you changed jobs? You cannot just do that without discussing it with me. And there it was. Even desperate, even scared, she still believed she had control over me. Actually, I said, I can. I did. The new place is closer to where I am staying. Where you are staying. This is your home. Our home. No, I said. It is a rental where you live. I do not live there anymore. Stop being ridiculous. Come home. We need to talk. We are talking, I said. Like adults. Remember that word you like so much? Silence on the other end. Adults take responsibility for their words. I continued. Adults understand that actions have consequences. It was one comment, she cried. One stupid comment when I was stressed. It was not one comment. It was what you really think of me. You said it plainly. Your friends think I am a joke, and you agree. Silence again, only longer. I did not mean it, she whispered. Yeah, you did, I told her. And you can feel however you want. But I do not have to live as somebody's punchline. Please, just come home so we can fix this. I am home, I said. Just not there. I hung up. Over the weekend, she escalated. She started posting vague emotional updates on social media about hard times and marriage being hard work. Her friends flooded her comments with sympathy, until a few of them started asking uncomfortable, practical questions. Where is he staying? Why did he leave? What exactly was the fight about? Suddenly, she did not have a script for that. Judith was the first one to crack. She commented under my wife's sad little social media post. Are you okay financially? Do you need help with rent? Then Sydney chimed in with, is he still helping with the bills? And Trinity added, how long has he been gone? Are you two separating? It was almost funny watching it play out. Her successful friends, the same ones who told her she deserved better, suddenly realized this situation might cost them real money. And people who judge others based on income usually clutch their own wallets tight. Monday rolled around, and she tried calling my new workplace. She got transferred straight to my supervisor, Mr. Rodriguez. This is Mrs., she started, then hesitated. She had never taken my last name, so she was not Mrs. anything connected to me. This is his wife, she corrected. There is a family emergency. I need to talk to him right away. Rodriguez found me in the middle of a service call. Your wife called, he said. Claims it is an emergency. There is no emergency, I told him. We are separated. She is just trying to track me down. You want me to tell her you are unavailable? Tell her I will call her back when I can. Which meant never, but she did not need to know that. Got it, he said with a nod. Tuesday morning she drove to the old house. Well, her house now, and found a notice taped to the door. Not because she had failed to pay the rent, but because she had asked our landlord, Mrs. Dixon, about breaking the lease, and Mrs. Dixon had approved it with a 30-day move-out. She called me instantly, her voice cracking. Did you tell Mrs. Dixon I was moving out? I told her I was moving out, I said. Whatever you decide to do is up to you. Well, she is evicting me, she shouted. She says since you left, she does not think I can afford the full rent. Can you? I asked calmly. Silence. Long, heavy silence. That is not the point, she finally muttered. It is exactly the point. Rent is $1,400 a month. You bring home maybe $2,000 after taxes. You figure that out. You cannot leave me homeless. I am not leaving you homeless. You have options. Get a roommate. Find a cheaper place. Move in with one of your successful friends. This is insane, she snapped. You are destroying our marriage over one fight. I am not destroying anything, I said. I am simply not playing along anymore. Wednesday brought an unexpected twist. Elizabeth, one of her closest friends from that Nashville trip, unfriended her overnight. Completely gone. Then Judith stopped replying to her messages. Sydney went quiet next. By Thursday night, the pattern was obvious. Her friends were backing away, fast. They had signed up to cheer her on, not to support a woman whose life was unraveling. The same group that told her she was too good for me had nothing to offer when she needed real help. Friday afternoon, exactly 2 weeks after I left, she tried a new tactic. She called Josh, my brother. I know he is staying with you, she said the moment he picked up. Maybe, Josh replied. I need to see him. I just need to talk. He does not want to talk to you. This is destroying both our lives. He is being stubborn and prideful. He is being honest, Josh said. Something you might try? What is that supposed to mean? It means you showed him who you are. Now you are upset that he believed you. She hung up on him. Saturday morning, exactly 2 weeks after the move, I was helping Josh install new kitchen cabinets when my phone rang. Local number. No name. Hello. It is me, she said. I am calling from Joan's phone. Joan is her sister. Always liked her, the one person in that family I respected. What do you want? I asked. I need to see you. Please. Just give me 10 minutes to explain. Explain what? How sorry I am. How wrong I was. How much I want to fix this. I thought about it for a second. Maybe it was time. Not to reconcile. Not ever. But to make sure she understood this was permanent. This was not a timeout. This was not a stunt. This was my new life. Fine, I said. 10 minutes. Josh's place. 1 hour. Thank you. I will be there. I hung up and looked at Josh. She is coming over, I said. You want me here? He asked. Oh yeah. This conversation needs a witness. At exactly 1 hour, she pulled into the driveway in her sister's car. I watched her through the window. She looked like someone approaching a courtroom, checking her reflection in the side mirror, fixing her hair, trying to pull herself together. Josh opened the door. Come in. She stepped inside and saw me sitting at the kitchen table. I did not stand. I did not smile. I did not offer anything. You look good, she said, like flattery was going to soften the truth. Thanks, I said. Can we sit and talk? She asked. You are here, I replied. Talk. She took the chair across from me. Her hands shook when she set her purse on the table. 2 weeks of stress had aged her. I came to apologize, she said quietly. Truly apologize. Not just say it to get you to come back. Okay, I said. What I said that night was cruel. You are not a joke. Your work is not something to be ashamed of. You work hard. You provide. You are good at what you do. All true. I was frustrated about money, she continued, and I took it out on you in the worst possible way. She looked down, waiting for me to rescue her, waiting for forgiveness. But she had not reached the part that mattered. Not even close. She said she did not mean those words. She insisted they came out wrong. But I leaned back in my chair and shook my head. That is where you and I disagree, I told her. I think you meant every bit of it. You just never planned on me hearing the truth. That is not true, she said, wiping her face. I was angry. People do not invent feelings when they are angry, I replied. Anger just removes the filter. It lets the truth slip out. That broke her. The tears that came next were not the dramatic kind she used to get her way. These were real. Her shoulders shook. Her breath hitched. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. I have lost everything, she said. My friends do not want to hear about my problems. I might get evicted. I cannot afford to live alone. My sister thinks I am an idiot. Even my mother said I brought all this on myself. Your mother is finally right about something, I said quietly. Please, she begged. I know I hurt you, but we can fix this. We can go to counseling. We can work on our communication. We can. No. She blinked hard. What do you mean, no? I mean no, I said plainly. No, we are not going to fix this. No, I am not coming back. No, there is no imaginable version of our lives where this marriage survives what you said. She stared at me like she could not understand the language I was speaking. But, you love me. I love the woman I thought you were, I said. Turns out that version of you never actually existed. People make mistakes, she whispered. This was not a mistake, I told her. This was a moment of honesty. You showed me exactly how you see me, how you talk about me to other people, and how little respect you have for what we built. I noticed my brother Josh standing by the sink, pretending to wash dishes, but listening to every word. So that is it, she asked. 12 years of marriage gone because of one argument. 12 years gone because my own wife thinks she married beneath her. I corrected. Yes, that is it. I do not think that, she insisted. You said it. And you said your friends agree. I shrugged. Sounds pretty clear to me. I was wrong. No, I said evenly. You were honest for the first time in a long time. She was crying so hard her mascara left dark streaks down her face. What am I supposed to do now, she asked. I do not know, I replied. You are an adult with a college degree. You will figure something out. But what about us? She asked. What about our marriage? I pulled a folded document from my pocket and slid it across the table. Divorce papers. I had hired a lawyer the day after she left for Nashville. Our marriage ended when you decided your friend's opinions mattered more than the man paying your bills, I told her. This just makes it official. She stared at the papers like they were written in code. You cannot be serious. I am completely serious, I said. You can sign them now, or hire a lawyer and drag this out. Either way, we are done. This is insane, she said. You are throwing away 12 years because your feelings were hurt. There it was. Even after all of this, she still did not get it. My feelings are not hurt, I said. My eyes are open. A man with self-respect does not stay married to someone who is embarrassed by him. I am not embarrassed by you, she said. Your friends say you married beneath you, I said. And you agreed. That is embarrassment. She went silent. There was nothing left to argue. Where will you go? She asked softly. I have work. I have savings. I have family, I said. I will be fine. Honestly, better than fine. And me? You will figure something out, I said. Maybe your successful friends will help. Her face crumpled. That is cruel. That is reality, I said. Turns out people who judge others by income do not make very loyal friends. I stood up. The conversation is done, I said. Sign the papers or do not. I have moved on. Please, she whispered. Please do not do this. I am not doing anything, I said. You did this when you made it clear I was not good enough for you. I am just agreeing with your opinion. She cried in silence for a few more minutes, but I was already finished with the marriage. Josh walked her to the door. Think she will sign? He asked after she left. Eventually, I said, she does not have many options. How do you feel? Free, I said. For the first time in years. 6 weeks later, she signed. My lawyer told me she had moved back into her parents' house and taken a job at a call center. Her sister Joan helped her move out of the rental. I bought a small house. Nothing flashy, but it is mine. I started dating a woman I met at the hardware store, a contractor who actually appreciates good workmanship. We talk like equals. We respect each other. Sometimes I wonder if my ex-wife tells people her marriage ended over one comment. I doubt she explains the whole story. I doubt she learned much at all. But me? I learned everything I needed to know. The best revenge against someone who thinks you are a joke is living a better life without them. And the truth? I am happier now than I have been in years. Some jokes really are funny in the end. Bye.